Roland, a major move by the Hong Kong government to quarantine all visitors coming in from the mainland. What can you tell us about this latest move?
Well, yeah, starting Saturday, fresh restrictions on all travellers from mainland China. That includes Hong Kong residents, Chinese nationals, as well as foreign passport holders. They'll all have to be quarantined for 14 days. Now, she's taking more stringent measures due to the 6 new cases reported, all locally transmitted. Now, that takes the total number in Hong Kong to 21 confirmed cases, with around a third of these patients actually believed to have been contracting the illness locally rather than Wuhan itself. There's also been one fatality. So Mrs. Lam wants to prevent a widespread community outbreak here. The Hong Kong government has been facing rising pressure as well to control the number of arrivals from China, with hospital staff here going on strike to demand a total border shutdown. Now, the authorities did close most of the land borders, but kept the Shenzhen Bay port open, as well as the international airport and the Hong Kong-Macau-Zhuhai bridge. Mrs. Lam insisted that totally sealing off the border is not possible, citing a need for food supplies to be brought into Hong Kong. She also said that earlier closures had already proved successful in reducing the number of cross-border travellers. The Hong Kong government also will be extending the work-from-home arrangement for its civil service by at least another week as officials step up measures against the spread of the novel coronavirus. And the move will be asking civil servants to stay at home until February 16th, the earliest. Now, most of the government's 176,000 employees also advised to keep away from the office between January 29th and, if you remember, February the 2nd. But the government has since pushed that back to February 9th. That's the end of this week. So it's going to be another week after that. Similar advice also to be adopted by the private sector, where many workers have already been told to stay at home. Now, separately, I should mention that authorities in Taiwan have also issued a travel alert for Hong Kong and Macau, warning residents to avoid non-essential trips to these two territories.
Now, Roland, on another front, Hong Kong health authorities have been screening passengers on board the World Dream cruise ship. Any updates for us on the situation there?
Yeah, officials from the Center for Health Protection boarded a cruise liner called the World Dream, I should say, at Kai Tak Terminal this morning to carry out checks on 1,800 passengers and around 1,800 crew members that are on board. The CHP were trying to trace people from a previous cruise on the vessel after 8 mainland Chinese were on board at that time, tested positive for the virus, but disembarked elsewhere. Some 4,600 people were on that voyage, with those 8 infected mainlanders. And authorities say some 200 of them were from Hong Kong, so the search is now on for them. Now, so far, the authorities say there's been no direct exposure from the 8 confirmed cases to be found on the crew members or the passengers on board, but samples have been collected and are still being tested. And authorities say that they haven't yet ruled out a quarantining of that vessel at Kai Tak Terminal pending the results.